Hey, what's up, guys? It's Manny here. I am bringing you guys back another video. I just wanted to hop on here and create a little video. This one's going to be a little bit longer, a little bit than normal. But I want to just hop on here and explain to people why I haven't really consistently been posting videos lately and a little bit of what's been going on in the past 2 years and a half. I kind of got sick at work last year, and I had this whole thing going on with my lungs. And to make a long story short, I wound up finding out I have this chronic illness called sarcoidosis of the lung. So it kind of affected a lot of my energy, my moods, and all that kind of stuff going on. So it kind of stopped me from kind of making videos a little bit because I was worried about my health and all that stuff. So I kind of shied away from making TikTok videos and all that stuff. And, you worry about other things that were going on in life. So that was kind of a rough year. And then this year was kind of a lot of up and downs, dealing with the disease itself. And then, unfortunately, I had my grandmother pass away, who was basically meant everything to me. She was near and dear to my heart. I love the lady more than anything on earth. And she unfortunately passed away this summer. So I had that going on. So it was a combination of a lot of stuff. And then everybody deals with work and stress related stuff. So a lot of stuff going on in life that basically I stopped making videos and had other worries going on. But anyway, to make a long story short, I'm finally back on here and I wanted to make a TikTok video to put out to the community who's been supporting me for a long time. All my fans on here on TikTok, who I really appreciate and got me all the followers. So I was like, you know what, let me do something cool and put out a video for them. But I wanted to do something more out of the ordinary, because I usually come on here and I'm always like just critiquing, Raw and SmackDowns and AEWs and what ifs and matches. And I'm always doing that kind of stuff, but I never really get like too personal with you guys. Mainly like I just tell you guys what like my favorite matches are, who my favorite wrestlers are, all that kind of stuff. But I was like, you know what, let me come on here and actually explain to people why I love professional wrestling so much, and like why it's so near and dear to my heart still to this day, as someone being 35 years old who loves professional wrestling. A big part of it was due to, believe it or not, my grandmother who passed away. I grew up watching wrestling with her. That's one of the big things that was part of my childhood, like going to her houses, um, hanging out with her during the days. I remember, I used to sleep over there a lot, and a lot of times late night wrestling would come on, and it would always be reruns of like, WWE, WrestleMania, Hulk Hogan, all that classic, like new generation stuff would always be like rerunning. And it makes me laugh because I have all these vivid memories of me and my grandmother together watching wrestling, and like just being so compelled to the TV because, like I always said, she was like old school. She was like, if the wrestlers could like talk to her and realize her personality, she protected the business. Like if you told her wrestling was fake, she would literally like freak out, and she protected the business. Like you couldn't tell this lady it was fake. And if you did, she would tell you to get out of her house. That's how serious she took it. She used to hate when people would say it was fake. She always defended the business and always told people that there's nothing fake about wrestling. It's all real. And it was great. It's just like vivid memories like that as a kid that always stick with me. And like that began my love for wrestling, because like I said, I used to go there and I would sleep over a lot on Saturdays and watch with her. And she came over in the 70s. She was originally from Portugal, but she came over to the United States in the 70s. And that's when my father was a kid. And he used to tell me that she used to watch it back in the day when Chief Jay Strongbow was on TV, and that era with Dusty Rhodes. And that's how she started to like professional wrestling. And my dad used to say that when Hulk Hogan used to come on, she would be glued to the TV. Like Hulk Hogan was her guy. And whenever he was on TV, there was no like, she would stop whatever she was doing, even if she was a seamstress, so she was always sewing. And when Hulk Hogan would come on, that was it. She would just stop, and boom, she would just watch in awe, like he was a god. And it's just memories like that I just find so amazing about professional wrestling, how this one sport could like bring all these great things, memories in your life, and how it brings people together, and the way the sport grew in the fan base. And it's just things like that, to me, is why professional wrestling is so special, because that's memories I always have as a kid. And it grew my love for professional wrestling, because going to watch wrestling with my grandmother, I was in my like 8, 9, 10 years old, and while I was watching reruns of that, the Attitude Era was taking place as well. So it wound up growing my love for wrestling even more and more, obviously, growing up through the Attitude Era and everything like that. But that's why, to me, professional wrestling when people ask me, oh, how can you still like this? It's professional wrestling to me, you know, means a lot of things. And, you know, I love obviously the sport itself. I love the athletes. I like everything about it, the production side of it. I love the behind the scenes. I love the more aspects, like technical side of how the wrestler set up a match and all that kind of stuff. But the most importantly is just, it's something that's been in my life forever, and it's always going to be in my life. And like having special moments like that where I was able to watch that with my grandmother a couple of years ago before she passed was pretty funny. She came to visit us from Portugal. I think I want to say like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, she came to visit us, and she wanted to watch wrestling because she knew I still liked wrestling. I was like 33 at the time, or 32, and so I decided to put on a rerun of WrestleMania 4, and of course I put on Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior because, you know, Hulk Hogan was her favorite, and she loved Macho Man. She told me that Hulk Hogan was her favorite, but then she also liked Macho Man, and she told me that when I was on the couch watching with her. And still to this day, I could just see her joy and excitement and me putting on a match from like 30 years ago, that she was still getting that joy just to watch Hulk Hogan. And it was so funny because I'm watching this match with her and she's so into it. And I was telling this story to my dad the other day that she knew all his spots, like when he was going to go for the big boot and the leg, and she was calling all his spots. And when he was making his comeback and he started to shake, she started to do the Hulk Hogan shake moves with the head. And she said, that's it. He's coming back. He's going to win this match. He's going to win this match. And it was just something that will always stick with me. That's why wrestling is, I'll always love it. It's just, you know, that was my time with her. And it's just something that's always going to live with me. And, you know, that's why wrestling means so much to me, because it's just more than a sport to me. It's, you know, it's amazing. All the stuff that I've had made many friends who've loved wrestling, you know, going to conventions and everything. It's just, it's awesome, man. It's a good community, and it's just a cool little story that I wanted to share with you guys on one aspect of why I love professional wrestling so much is, you know, all these little things and memories that you get. It's amazing, guys. And I hope you like this video, guys. And thank you everybody for watching. And hopefully my grandmother's up there with Hulk Hogan right now watching them have a match with Macho Man. And I will see you guys next time. Later.